You said too cold?
Yes. never had one that was too cold.
Never banged a dead chick is what he's saying.
There's people who are into that.
Oh, yeah. That's why people become morticians. That's the only reason. Why else would you want to do that?
There was a great show that that dealt with a lot of that back in the day.
Wasn't there a movie? Wasn't there a movie about some... I don't know, man. I feel like there was a movie about it.
Could have been.
I like how we monitor what words we use, but the entire, first 5 minutes of the podcast is just pussy, pussy, pussy.
Yeah, well, you're going to have that every now and again.
We need to pay someone to share our thing, and then just get a bunch of people trolling us to mess with us and chat while we're doing this.
For sure. When we upgrade the board, there is going to be the at that point, hopefully the board will be fluid enough to take online callers, because I want to keep it old school and just patch in, hey, you're on caller, blah blah blah.
Yeah, so that way we can not have to read things out loud to the folks.
Right. Which, I mean, look, we live in a weird text society, one way or the other, where people text more than they talk or whatever. So who knows? I think we'll find a fair amount of people that would be totally cool with texting in their question or answer or ball busting.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's a thing. So, yeah. Well, this is the Bachelor Pad Radio.
What's going
on? Jake Podcast. Facebook Live. YouTube Live. The Bachelor Pad Facebook, or, obviously Bachelor Pad Facebook page. And the YouTube channel, the Bachelor Pad Radio. So, yeah, man. Dude, I feel like death warmed over.
Yeah, no.
My voice is kind of jacked up, everything, dude.
I just feel like I'm running on fumes. Whatever, I feel like I poured water into my gas tank when I, needed diesel.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. I threw up projectile fire hose vomit last night.
Did it hurt?
It didn't really hurt. It's more off-putting. You know what I mean? Because the act of doing it isn't. It's the loss of bodily control. My body's doing something that I have no control over. Can't stop it.
I'd rather lose control that way than the other end, though. Every time. But then again, I haven't really been... I used to be a really big vomiter back when I was, a little kid. I used to get the flu all the time and just would get the pukes like no other. Now, it's maybe once every 2 or 3 years just from, playing Thunderstruck. just chugging, a death wish amount of alcohol and then just having to get it out in order to live. That's pretty much the only time it'll happen. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the weather. We had this really weird transition where summer didn't want to leave, and then fall was bam, and now it's raining, and there's talk about getting snow, and everything's just getting real cold. It feels like we skipped the transition weather.
The fall.
Yeah. Everything's okay, it's going to be 43 and raining tomorrow. And I'm okay, it was 85 last weekend. So what's going on here?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. My sinuses have been, it's been an elongated sinusy. I don't feel 100%. My nose or, it tries to get in my lungs. But I don't think that was the thing. All right, so part of it's weird, people here, because I'm in Canton and I grew up 2 blocks from here.
Yeah.
They give me the Canton pass. So do you go get steaks from Holiday Market, or do you get stuff from this and that? I'm dude, I don't go one step further west than I'm at right now. Everything I do is east of here. Mm-hmm. So yes, I do get it. You could get a better cut of meat, and you could get, and after this, I will never shop at the, any off-brand, lower budget, just because it was close and it was in my, in my path that I went, you know what, I need salad, I need this, I need some pico de gallo. I'm going to grab some, guacamole and whatever. I was like, let me, you know what's funny? I like through friends, and I guess I was at a lake house one day. I met the lady who made holy guacamole.
Oh, really?
Which
she was just up there chilling out?
She's friends with my buddy's parents, or they all came from the same area, so they would, hang out at barbecues or, like gatherings or whatever. But
excuse me, miss, you make some delightful guacamole.
And the marketing of holy guacamole is amazing.
That's a really good term.
Yeah.
Slogan right there.
And it plays off the old Batman, like holy blah 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 Batman, right? But the holy guacamole, like it has multiple plays on, its wording, and it's darn good guacamole.
It's pretty good. I mean, the proof's in the guac, right?
That is correct. And I really
proof's
dig
in the green pudding.
I really dig guac. Like I like it.
That's like, I would rather, if anyone's ever looking to cut out like dairy products and stuff, they eat a lot of sour cream, just throw some guacamole in there, man.
Yeah.
That's like the best consistency you'll ever get in anything. Burritos, tacos, nachos.
No, it is a good, to
Salads.
have a good solid smattering of guac is neat. And I tried to make like a 3 to 5 layer like dip thing, because I had refried beans, obviously in a can. I had some chili in a can, and then I had the guac, I had the pico, I had some, multiple, Mexican style cheese, and I'm not eating bread, rice, sugar, potatoes, any of that stuff, right? So I was like, cool, I'm just going to, when I feel like I need something, I'm just going to take a scoop of this, right? Because I'll eat stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean chips need to be involved, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, I'll make that. That'll be just a spoonful thing, when I'm hungry and I want something that's semi-decadent. And I guess I put tainted, and that's my only thing, because I went to this off-brand grocery store. And it's convenient, and I pass by it, and I just, dude, who wants to drive like an extra 4 miles to go to the grocery, right?
Right.
Especially when they deliver now, which is a service I've been using.
Have you? You've actually used those services?
Dude, it's the most gangster service in life.
Is it expensive?
Not really. If you take out the quandary of you getting up, getting dressed, being somewhat presentable, right? You got to brush the teeth, put on deodorant, right? You don't want to freak people out at the...
Depends on what store you're going to, unless you're going to the old Walmart.
Yeah, even then, you never know who you're going to meet. Ooh, man, that cord.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you're covered in mud and leaves, you're probably still more presentable than half the people there anyway.
Right, but I mean, if I go to Walmart and I'm, presentable, there are other presentable people there. There's just weird, dredge of society wandering around with you also. I
don't know, man. You usually preach that you don't really care about your physical appearance thing. I'm starting to see some cracks.
No, but if you, well, I can't do anything about my physical appearance, but I can also not look like I'm homeless. You know what I mean? Like, because don't get me wrong, if it's like going right around the corner, I won't take the time to lace up my shoes, and I'm kind of mad because I lost my flip-flops in an Uber shuffle. So, and the Uber driver was nice enough to bring them home, but my mom and my sister freaked out because I was watching their house, over the weekend. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. I had my backpack and I was, evacuating the house, right? I made sure it was presentable so mom, doesn't get freaked out that I didn't clean up after myself while I was in the house.
Sure.
And I had brought a change of, one day I had flip-flops and I had gone out one night, so I had my other shoes with me. So I'd put everything, how you pack like your bag and you can pack it, but then when you come home, nothing will fit. Like you've got to like sacrifice 2 boxers and a flip-flop, right? Yeah. So I had the flip-flops in my hand and caught an Uber to go get my car from where I was the night before.
Right.
So I was in the back. I'm talking to the Uber guy. He was cool as could be. Mm-hmm. He was like Akon, right? Like I think it was undercover Uber.
It was undercover Akon.
It was, dude, because he was like Akon. He had the accent.
Yeah.
He was cool, and he picked me up in like a slick Lexus too. Like I was like,
nice.
Who are you? I was like, dude, payment getting a little rough. You got to do some Ubering, Maybe.
Some people just like having extra cash no matter what.
So local Akon came back to my folks' house like a day later, and I was already gone, obviously, and was like, hey, flip flop. And my mom's like, why is Akon standing at my front door with, with flip flops? She didn't like even think that Jake's been at my house for 3 days, right? Random people bringing stuff back seems to be normal.
So you didn't have this conversation with Akon? He just showed up with the flip flops, like he remembered they were yours?
He remembered, yeah. The next dude probably got in and was like, yo, bro, there's some grungy flip flops back here. And
that's
like,
a really cool Uber driver, man. You didn't even
cool.
have to have a conversation with him about it. He just brought it right back.
No, but my mom and sister freaked out and like, why, and it's dark and you got Akon at the front door and she's like, what? What's going on? Why? Who? Nobody comes to that house unless they're, called before you stop by.
Did she like call you while he showed up or after?
No, they called me.
fact?
They called me the next day and went, yeah, the craziest thing happened. And I went, oh, yeah. Never really dawned on you that I was at your house for 3 days. And they said a guy Ubered from this address and left his. Well, I couldn't really hear, and I was kind of scared. Who comes to the house at this, at this time of night? And I was like, let me, don't get me wrong, they're flip flops, but knowing me, I will not purchase flip flops until next year sometime.
Yeah,
and I will go through a struggle month of wishing I had, where I squished down the back of my shoes and just shove my feet in to make them like house slippers.
Just some moccasins, man.
Dude, I will, but I don't go shop for myself, dude. Seriously,
I'll get you some moccasins, man.
Cool. Yeah. No, dude, I'll wear bare slippers, like bare feet. I'll wear anything. It's just, I don't know. So it's been a struggle the last month or so without my flip-flops.
Yeah.
Which makes me look like, like a homeless dude when I go to, like, screw it. I'm just going to push my shoes in whatever.
It's getting colder anyways, man. Do you wear flip-flops all year round? Are you one of those people?
I mean, as long as there's not snow on the ground and I need to, like, run up to the store real quick. Dude, just the whole, like, put on socks, lace up your shoes, do whatever. You know what I mean? It's just a whole thing. And then you got to get home and kick them off again when you could just slide something on.
Yeah.
I guess that's why God made Crocs.
And let there be Crocs. So Jake can go to the store. No, I don't know. My shoes I can like easily maneuver on without having to unlace and lace them up. I think I'm just super lazy. So I never really. It's just the whole battle is putting on socks for me. I always lose socks like it's no one's business. I think a lot of people have that issue.
That's a
where
thing.
You'll buy like 70 packs of socks in a year and you end up with 3 mixed pairs by December. I don't know where that there's a sock fairy or a sock goblin or whatever, but that's my biggest issue. So I don't know. I usually just slip on my shoes. I don't really like the lowest I'll go is I'll wear my moccasins on, but I don't like the look. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm picky.
You're upside down
guy.
on Facebook Live.
Am I?
Yeah. Is it upside down on your thing or no?
Well, the live, everything's flipped. Like the live stuff, all the text is completely
flipped. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can.
Can you turn off portrait orientation, or you can just do that? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that, right?
Yeah, you could.
Did anything? Oh, there we go. Oh, that just made me dizzy.
What's the lag on that? How long did it take for you to see it?
It's like a 7-second lag.
Oh, okay, not crazy bad, but
oh, that's cool. Everyone was trying to figure out who you are upside down. Like, well, at least I know what it's like to look if I'm doing weird sex acts with Nick, right?
No,
that's what he looks like upside down and backwards. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, anytime you see me in a good POV film.
Yeah, right.
Just the mirror shot.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. So yeah, I got the bunk food from there. I will never do that again. I will travel. And you were asking about said delivery stuff. Yeah, you just go online and you type in whatever you want. But see, then you have to pre-think it. So you have to pre-think your whole.
Yeah, because you don't get the library catalog of walking through and being like, oh yeah.
I remembered that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, 3 weeks for getting trash bags. Like balls. Yeah. I'm literally down to the last one now.
But I guess the cool thing about that is you're more prone to make a list in that stage, so you can be like, oh yeah, trash bags, cool. Write it down. Immediately go onto the list for the app. When sometimes I know I need to get something, I get to the grocery store distracted by literally everything else, and I get the one thing. I don't get the one thing that I came there to get everything else. Even though there's still food in the house.
Yeah.
Forget the deodorant or
whatever.
whatever.
Do you ever do the, and this is like guy bachelordom where you all right, I'm going to make whatever I have. I'm not going to go grocery shopping or get food until I eat everything that's edible. Like, that's kind of where I should do something with those refried beans.
Yeah.
And I should do something with, like, dude, there's one can of, like, Chef Boyardee spaghetti. I didn't buy it. Like, it had to have been a Blazer purchase, but I was like, nah, I'll go ahead and, let's clear this thing out.
I've gotten pretty low, but here's the thing. I've never lived on just my own. I've always had other people that if they even got to that point, they'd be like, oh, let's go get food. And then they would take into account, okay, let's get him something to eat. And then I would never really completely run out. So I don't know. I've never really been down that road. But I do get pretty low on the rations sometimes. And then you have to be creative and make something that you can eat. And then you haven't made in a while. Like you just got like random brown rice and like some frozen broccoli. And you're like, oh, well, I guess this is a meal. So that's usually what I end up doing. Is I'll
smorgasbord it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just get creative because there's always something like somewhere down like a pantry. There's stuff that you got and put away because you had extra of. It's almost like DayZ rations. You don't really realize that you got all this weird canned green beans under your sink downstairs, but you do. So you're like, okay, well, I could go to the store and get what I want, or I could just be a lazy fat piece of crap and just eat everything that's edible right now.
Yeah, like where you just make stovetop stuffing for no apparent reason.
But it's the
even
middle of July and you're just cooking stuffing.
I've got stovetop and I've got ghetto potatoes, right? Just add water and butter.
Yes.
Which I that's speaking of that, I've got Thanksgiving coming up, and I was.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Just you?
Dude, it's my holiday. You guys can have the rest. There's no, it's horrible to the American Indians, right? We came over and broke bread with you and then took all your stuff, right? But it's my favorite because I've got the Dallas Cowboys, I've got the Lions, and I do it a little bit different. I did it when I was feuding with my family a long time ago when I was a man and I had my own apartment, and I was like, well, screw y'all. I'm not coming to your your house for your stuff. We're arguing right now. I'm not going to postpone the argument for one day. Yeah. You know what I mean? I also don't like to argue and fight, so I'm like, there's no way we're getting through this dinner and whatever without, you guys picking a fight or, me feeling slighted. It's going to go down.
Sure.
Because I had to deal with that every Thanksgiving and every, name it, it happened. So I came up with the Bachelor style, man's own Thanksgiving. Now, the one part you can't skimp on is the actual turkey. So in the days where, that was a designated bar day where you go to the bar regardless whether you need to or not, you take the turkey, you put the turkey in, you set the timer to go off every hour, and then you come and you baste the turkey, right? And I start cooking it at like 3 a.m, right? So 3, because I want it to be done by like 11:30, because my idea of Thanksgiving is when the Lions kick off, right? When they whoop and they raise the hand and blow the whistle.
That's when you start eating.
I put my fork in and I'm taking my first bite.
Yeah.
So in order to do this economically and for overall time saving, I get Hungry Jack potatoes or whatever variation there is. I found the flaked potato game is pretty good any way you go. Right? Add water, half a cup of milk, and some butter.
Yeah.
It can be made in like 4.5 minutes, right? So that can be made in like 4.5 minutes, and then the stovetop, right? Same thing. Boom, boom, boom. I like my sweaty stovetop the way I make it, right? I make it a little damper than normal. I don't want it all dry. That seems like old people stuff. Like that's how my parents would make stovetop. So I want mine a little extra butter and a little, moist.
Yeah, a little soggy.
Right? I get the rolls that you cut open and slide in once you take the turkey out. The oven's already preheated. You put those in, put some butter on it. Stop and get I used to go to Baker Square, man. Baker Square, the French silk pie is my jam. Like that is my thing. Only followed with its kissing cousin, which is the bumpy cake by Saunders or whatever.
Really?
But it's a cake and that's a pie.
I don't know, man. I like the classics for Thanksgiving. I like my pumpkin and my apple. I don't know. My family usually goes all out. They'll get
whatever their Peter Pan with your traditional
8 different pies, man. There'll be like Oreo. There'll be what's the lemon meringue. There's always lemon meringue.
See, I can't. I've eaten all of those or powered through them or whatever, begrudgingly. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Like, dude, the pumpkin. What is the pumpkin doing other for us to make a jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin seeds, all right, but there's other seeds.
I don't know, man. You don't like the taste of pumpkin?
Pumpkin pie.
Like pumpkin bread?
One or two. Nope.
No?
I'm like totally anti-pumpkin.
Banana bread.
Not a huge fan of the Nana.
I don't know.
Dude, I'm a chocolate dude. I love chocolate. I like everything that is encompassed with chocolate of some kind. Like, that's why, in vapor world, right, people are like, dude, that Swedish fish, the green one. And I'm, what do you mean, Swedish fish, green one? They're like, dude, you hadn't had those when you were kids? And I was like, number one, I was raised by wolves. Does Mad Dog look like one? She went and got exquisite, the new flavor of anything? No. When she would pass out, possibly I would rummage through her purse and steal $1.35 and go get a Kit Kat, a Faygo and whatever. They didn't have Faygo in Texas, but that same thing. So I've always been on the chocolatey peanut butter side.
Well, you tend to. I mean, I think there's a little bit that boils down to in utero when your mom's eating, whatever. You kind of absorb a little bit of her taste.
Why, that makes me remember the bus ride of
chocolate.
That's why I like the chocolate.
Yeah. Oh no! Is that why?
Thanks for that.
Is that why you like eating chocolate on buses now?
That is right. That's why I take
That's
the
your
bus
guilty
randomly.
Pleasure is eating chocolate bunnies.
Don't you have two cars? I like to take the bus
I like
sometimes.
to take the bus.
It brings me back.
And pop up with a Milky Way and take the bus.
Yeah, but what I did with that Thanksgiving was I started inviting other friends, right? Because I don't know if I'm like either a visionary or some kind of trailblazer in the fact that nobody had like foregone their parent stuff, even though the uncles would fight and they hated it or whatever. I had my buddy at the time, his dad had just recently gotten divorced.
Okay. And
my buddy lived in the same apartment complex, and he was like, so what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Just one of those random questions.
Yeah.
And the first year I went and got like a TV dinner, and I ate it by myself, and one of the chicks I worked with was like, that is so depressing. And I was like,
that is kind of sad, Jay. You got a TV, what was it, like a Stouffer's? Like
not even a Hungry Man or something.
Oh, no, like a mac and cheese
and you get to that one little quadrant where it's whatever the it's supposed to be like cherry cobbler or something or cranberry, and it tastes horrible. It's not good for you.
I'd rather just get like a kid's cuisine.
Well, that's how I did it the first year, and then I was like, okay, dude, if I'm gonna do this, I got to do it right. So from that point on, I would, like, even if my family was like, yeah, come over and watch the Lions game, I was like, no, I'm having Thanksgiving.
This became like the Iron Bro Chef of Thanksgiving for your friend group and whatnot?
And dude, it became a thing because my buddy came over with his dad. He was like, and I'd never met his dad before. He was like, hey, you mind if my old man, I was like, divorced? Is he in the He-Man Woman Hater Club? I was like, bring him over. So me, my buddy, and my buddy's dad.
Yeah.
And then somebody called in the midst of it, and they ditched whatever they were doing and came over to mine because we were just eating and farting and laying around and doing whatever, right?
Having a grand old time. Like
no
dudes.
stress.
Yeah.
No offense to the moms of the world and whatever, but everything's got to be clean. Like, there's a whole process at my house where when you get there at noon, it's like 2 hours of cleaning, and then there's a breakdown at some point because you didn't help clean.
Oh, yeah.
And why you guys, the least you could do is set the table, and I'm like, whoa, bro.
And it's always pushed back to like the latest time it could have been started. Like, no one ever starts doing it until like an hour and a half before everyone's going to show up, and then whoever shows up first is like kind of like, oh, I'll help, whatever you need me to do. And it's like everyone's stressing and freaking out like it's not their own family at the house that they've always gone to for Thanksgiving. Like, if something's not dusted properly, the universe is going to collapse.
That's right. Like, one of the uncles is going to see that you didn't, or her wife is going to notice your house wasn't clean.
Yeah, and they're going to go off to the corner and gossip about the moms and aunts and everything. It's like, come on.
I can't deal with that bad juju, man.
It freaks me out, man. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah, you can go use my restroom, and there'll be like an old school Playboy, and at one point we had a dildo that was taken from a bachelor party, and it had the adjustable like click 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 click. So my cousin, he was living, I let him move into my apartment. And he stole it, but of course, look, I was privy to the whole situation, but he stole it from this. They had the double donger show with the girls and whatever, and I was driving home, and none of us realized that he stole it until we were driving, and Jake, Jake, and I'm like, what? And they were like, dude, your cousin's a trip. I got like 5 people in my brand new like $36,000 Mustang at the time, right? I'm got $504 car payments, and I'm driving from like St. Clair Shores, banged up with like 8 rowdy dudes in my car.
God.
And my cousin pulls it out, and he's like, Jake, and slaps me on the side of my head. So I'm looking at this, this extremely flesh-colored donger.
Oh, yeah.
And he's smacking me on the side of my face, and I'm like, dude, do you know where that thing's been? He was like, I know. Puts it under his nose, and he was like, dude, that's awesome. And I was like, dude, you stole that? I was like, did anyone see you? And he was like, who cares? It's ours now. Wow. So, of course, we'd be driving, and he'd start poking the dude in the passenger seat, or it was horrible. It was a lot like, Star Wars with lightsabers of adjustable penis in the back of my car.
The Darth Maul of the dudes in that situation.
Well, and then we get to the house, right? And the next day he was like, Jake, where you got a hammer? You got a hammer? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I live in an apartment. What do I need a hammer for? Look underneath this drawer. He gets a hammer, and I hear bang, bang, bang. He comes and gets me like super proud, right? And mind you, he's my older cousin, right? I'm a child. He's an infant, right? And he's like, Jake, come in the bathroom. And he nailed it through the ball sack, right? He nailed it through the ball sack and nailed it into the wall. So everyone who came to my house would see you had this adjustable like 8-inch penis that click. And he was like, Jake, I'll let you know if I'm having a good day, because I get up before you. If you see it up and to the right, brother, it's on like Donkey Kong. And I'm like, no.
Oh, that's so weird. What a weird way to communicate to someone.
It became a thing. Like somebody would hang a hat on it. Somebody drew a face.
I put googly eyes above the balls.
Yeah, like it became a whole thing. So it was pretty righteous and fun. But that in that apartment, in that surrounding, is where I started my bachelor my bachelor Thanksgivings. And I was there for like 2 or 3 years, and then I've just carried it on. Yeah. I refuse to let anyone get in the way of my holiday. Mm-hmm. It's football, it's stuffing, it's whatever, and I kind of dig it.
I think in terms of my family, we've always kind of really cherished the times we do get to spend with each other. So those days, even when they're stressful, I still appreciate them because I don't really get to see a lot of the people. Even when there's drama going on, I'd rather be there than anywhere else.
Well, cool. They can all come to my house. I'm just not going to theirs anymore.
Yeah. No, yeah, I got this new house, so I might be hosting something.
Or you could have the after party, right? Like you go there and get all your cousins or the one cool uncle, but then you'll peeve off your family because they're not sitting around, their house and whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I 0 Fs, man. I got to have it.
Well, that's good for you, man. You got your thing.
Dude, it's a thing.
That's your thing, yeah.
Well, and I've also like foregone all the other requirements of going other than Christmas. I let them wrangle me into Christmas.
Right.
But as far as like Easter and what other ones? I guess there's just Easter, Christmas.
It feels like there's something else.
There's got to be something else, but I think those are the big 3.
Maybe we're just stupid.
No, it could be. I don't know. I don't go to any of them.
Yeah, I think everything else is like calendar holidays. I think we just think that there's more because there's just the sweetest day just happened. I don't even think.
I didn't even notice it until I saw weird stuff on Facebook about it, where I was like, oh yeah, it was sweetest day.
Yeah, I think someone. I think I went to a party that night and I was leaving and saying goodbye to someone. I think this girl that I was crushing hard on that night came up to me and said, "Happy Sweetest Day," as soon as I was leaving. And I was like, oh, that is so nice of you. I had no idea it was Sweetest Day.
Dude, when has Halloween become this whole, like, it's been a week already.
That's what the next holiday is.
Well, because here I was thinking, like, oh, yeah, it's going to be Thanksgiving in like 4 days. Yeah. Totally forgot about Halloween.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I've totally looked past it.
Well, because I've already gone to like 2 Halloween parties, and in my head, Halloween's done. Like, it just already happened because I already celebrated it technically.
I think it's kind of bunk that it's starting so early.
I don't know.
Like, I'm aware that it's like supposed to be October 30th or whatever, right? 30th or 31st.
What day is it? The 24th?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's appropriate, like, 10 days before, right? Is it too early?
Well, that's like having it's my birthday month or my birthday week or it's a goddamn day. Well, it is one day of the year.
What day is Halloween? On a Tuesday this year?
I have no idea. What is it? Is it the 30th or 31st? Is it the last day or
I'm really mad that I have no idea because I should know. But
I think it's technically the 30th is what it's supposed to be.
It's the 31st.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last day of the month, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So why are we, 7-8 days, or it's been 10 since the festivities have been going on?
Okay, so it's on a Tuesday, right? And a lot of us have,
don't care,
work in the morning. Well, here's the thing, like,
hey, Christmas, let's have it on this day because of whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
let's just start having it on the 21st.
Well, it's one of those holidays that is massively celebrated, but no one, like businesses and the regular week still goes on like normal. A lot of people have those Christmas days off. I think another thing too is people like to do multiple things for Halloween. I mean, it's a great party time, and if you just had one day where you got to do it, you could be missing out on multiple different streams of fun. Well, what do you mean, wah? You're the one crying over here because people are going to parties on the 21st.
No, that it started like 10 days early.
I don't even care.
Make it that Tuesday.
Whatever.
I mean, look, here's the deal, and here's another gripe that I have. Maybe it's just I'm cranky and I threw up last night.
Yeah,
and I haven't eaten all day today, and I feel like I could pass out at any moment.
What do you want from everyone, man? You want us to not party until the 31st?
Halloween is a kid's holiday, right?
Well, yeah.
It's for kids. Get over yourselves. You're adults, right? And it's just an excuse for every chick. And here's another complaint. I don't like the slutty everything. If you want to dress slutty, own that shit and do it on a Wednesday. Do it on a random Friday when you go to the bar. Dress like a hooker. Be hookerish. If you want to dress like a slutty nurse, knock yourselves out. That outfit is hanging in your closet, woman. This one day a week, everyone gets to just be a hooer. Don't get me wrong.
The Scrooge of Halloween, man.
Yeah.
What is you get diddled on by?
I didn't. I don't recall any traumatic experience, but it's for kids to get candy and eat the candy.
Not for me.
And the Charlie Brown thing and
for me to drink to excess and.
You're an adult. You can do it any day of the week.
Yeah, but now there's context, and there's themes, right? You get to theme it up. It breaks the monotony.
You going as Jack Sparrow this year, guy?
I was actually thinking
you're halfway there with the beanie, and you just put a scarf on it,
shaving the chin, and doing the old Johnny Depp just mustache, soul patch goatee thing. I don't know if I could pull it off.
Yeah, why not, dude? I saw some documentary I was watching, and they were talking. They were talking to people in Hollywood, like on the Hollywood Walk of Fame or in front of that crazy Chinese theater or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you've got all the people who dress weird and you got Elvis there. You've got, the Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah.
They had Dorothy it was something about the free speech and whatever when I was on that. I watched like 3 documentaries that night. And it was kind of weird because whoever the Jack Sparrow impersonator, dude, that's Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like, he could lowball trick you, bro.
Yeah.
Because I watched and I was like, oh, my God, that's Jack Sparrow.
Well, it's pretty simple because once you get, like, the core fundamentals of his look down, which is pretty much mustache, soul patch, goatee, and then, like, red cap and then dreads, you're pretty much there. You don't really got to do too much. But I don't know. I don't think it's too hard to pull off a Jack Sparrow as it is to pull off, like, a girl looking like Marilyn Monroe. She has to have the whole, face.
The get up and everything.
Yeah. But, for a dude, it's easy once you disguise with, facial hair and everything kind of shrouding the face. You don't really have to seriously look too much like him to pull off Jack Sparrow, but.
Yeah, I don't know, the bar stuff. The US 12 is doing something cool. They do and I haven't seen it publicized yet, which I was going to reach out to my boys. I was going to see about doing a remote, right, which I think would be a cool thing. A lot of people are scared of Wayne.
Yeah.
Right? But Wayne really does Halloween. They've got the zombie walk.
Yeah.
Where everyone dresses up. And again, you got, awesome slutty zombies too, right? There's no way to thwart the chicks who want to dress like a hooker that day. But they walk all the way down and they do a pub crawl from the US 12, the Village, the Avenue, and down Michigan Avenue and walk back, and then you go back to whatever bar you want. Most people go to the US 12.
Where would we hub it up?
At the US 12.
Yeah.
Like just getting an overview with the camera and whatever of, obviously have the owner, the owners, chat with us. They're very big into the community of Wayne and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can kind of, how many years it's been going on, this, and this, little talk about the bar. People who are getting their makeup done, they bring in makeup artists to charge them a little bit, and they do. And it's kind of cool. The whole staff is done in zombies and whatever. But they're having something this weekend. But it wasn't the zombie crawl, which kind of freaked me out because I was like, wait a minute, that's my favorite. That's my favorite of the events. But I posted it, and if this computer didn't run so doggone slow because everything in the podcast is coming off of it, it would pop up for me. Let's see. I'll give them a little free plug. It is the Halloween Weekend Spooktacular. Friday, October 27th, and Saturday, October 28th. Both of the sides of the bar are going to be open. They've got a tiki room that they do, music and other stuff on one side. There's a costume contest, giveaways, DJ, dancing, and it is obviously the US 12 on Michigan Avenue, 34824 West Michigan Ave, Wayne, Michigan, 48184. And the phone number if anyone would like to call and find out, hey, I'm not that great at makeup. Or, can I get some ideas of how to dress more like a hooker? I'm sure somebody there will be able to point you in the right direction. 734-722-3170.
Yeah,
and that is the US 12 this weekend.
I'm going to go get my makeup done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you should.
What can you do? What can dudes do with makeup for Halloween?
If you're doing a dead zombie thing and the blood, and you could have a bullet hole here and stuff coming out. I mean, when they do, I guess I go because it's kind of as professional of a party thing,
Sure.
So,
yeah, let's hit them up. See if we can kick something off. That'd be pretty fun.
Well, the weird thing is Scott and John, both listen to the podcast, right? So. Yeah. They're both. That'd be awesome if they were doing it right now, and they could chime in on the Facebook, Bachelor Pad page and whatever. And
that would be pretty neato.
But if you haven't, been there, if you're not, knowledgeable of the US 12, they do a lot of music stuff and whatever there.
Yeah, I've been to the US 12, but I tend to frequent the Ave a lot more.
Yeah,
but that's just friend groups and where they want to flock to anyway, so it'd be fun to go anywhere.
Well,
really.
And this would be a good time to introduce them more to the 12, right?
Yeah.
Because they do have the pub crawl. You can two bird with one stone it, right? Mm-hmm. You can go down, do the pub crawl, and then make your way back to. And I live across the street, one street over from the Ave. Like I walk to the Ave, through the alley.
I'll go get completely annihilated after, and I'll just come sleep with your dogs.
Dude, I never locked my house. You're more than welcome. Going through the garage, the hot tub room is always open.
Cool.
So that's kind of a cool thing. But I am kind of grinchy about it. Well,
it's funny because you were just listing off the dates. Neither of the two are Halloween.
Okay, I get it. I'll give you guys, you adult children, and need to put on your costumes and whatever.
Childs.
Dude, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Walmart and get the most janky, like the mask with the one elastic band and the thing that's supposed to go over you and just cut it out to where it's like a drape. I'm going to wear the most hokey, like horrible outfit just in my personal disdain for adults in their Halloween costumes.
I hate the like punny ones where people just go like wearing a shirt that says "This is my costume." Like you didn't even try. You're just trying to be funny.
That is true. You know what? If I could find a good horse head, I'm so into the horse head in general. Like people that want to be on the podcast but don't want to. I was gonna do the horse head and just cut out an area to where they could still talk on the mic.
Oh my
Dude,
god! Dude,
somebody bring back the horse head shenanigans. The horse head thing was a great time in my life.
You want people to come onto the podcast anonymously with a horse masking their identity.
You were aware of the horse head phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
Does it?
It makes me happy. I would like to have sex with a girl wearing a horse head mask.
You might have some other issues you gotta go deal with. I'm gonna have to delete your search history if you die.
No, part of the thing is just that they would. That number one, they would wear the horse head, right? Because I find it comically and whatever, not even in a sexual nature, but the fact that they would do it and then and the fact that they would just do stuff, right? It shows a bit of I'm zany and I've got a submissive nature if you allow me to do this.
I get that. I really do. That's great. I would just be cracking up the whole time staring at a horse head, man. I can picture it right now.
Oh, for sure.
I can't, like, okay, comedy and laughs and funny time is two different mentalities for me. I can't, I mean, like, I can try, I can tell a joke while, cranking the old chain around, but if I'm staring at a horse head, man, I can't. It's like a horse staring at me the whole time. Like, even if I was like on a farm just having regular sex with someone and a horse was giving me that, like, side eye, I'd be like, oh God, can we put a barrel of hay in between us and the horse? This is kind of weird.
Yeah, I would get up in my head and be like, dude, I'm not packing anything like the horse.
Yeah, no.
Like, he's like, what are you doing with that? Step aside, young man. Let me show you how it's done.
Why don't you go hang with the goats?
Yeah, that's you're a pasture animal at that point. So have you any weird in Bachelor Pad style, like have you had any like phenomenal hookups at a Halloween party where you crank the dead librarian or the slutty caseworker? I don't know, like,
no, man, because okay, so like
I don't think anyone really puts out on Halloween, and that could be my thing.
Well, I don't know, because I think I have like this weird seasonal thing with when I'm seeing or dating someone. It's usually, it somehow ends up working out where it's like the end of the year where, Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween all show up and you have to, spend money everywhere. I'm always in some sort of weird monogamous chain, and I've never really had like a whole, single go crazy and black out somewhere in a costume moment, but maybe this year.
Yeah, no, put it on your to-do list, right?
Yeah, so that might be this year's goal for Halloween.
Yeah, there's no way you're gonna get C-blocked by the roommate. She'll be there in some I Dream a Genie outfit, and you're, Jack Sparrow.
No, she's definitely not the blocker. She's like the catalyst for things. Because
no, that's good until blah blah blah. No, we should go home and whatever, and then
because that's the thing. I'll be there with her, and we'll be together, walking around talking, and then blink of an eye, we'll both be completely just separate ends of the building doing whatever, and then I'm sure we'll just both wake up the next morning and be like, hey, crazy night, huh? What did you end up doing? That's how I envision things are going to end up going in that household.
Yeah. You also envision, karaoke night a bit different also, but hey, we can all dream.
We didn't even go to karaoke that night.
But yeah, I don't know. I've had some cool, what I found about Halloween is everyone's in a good mood and everyone's talking, right? Because the lead in is perfect. Like, oh, dude, cool outfit. Like, you can give a compliment and they'll take it and be like, dude, who did your makeup? You didn't do that. Blah blah blah. Right. So there's a lot of easy like lead ins, and with me being pretty much genuine, even though I've got an agenda, right? But I can Eddie Haskell it into a million things as long as they're willing to talk to me for a few. And by the end of the night, after a couple more drinks, I've met and like dated people after, or gone out with them or hooked up after, but not that night. It's never been a deal closer night for me.
You've never done that either?
Mm-mm.
I feel like I'd have more luck on New Year's than Halloween.
St. Patty's Day has been good for me. I've done some good St. Patty's Day.
Well, yeah, you got the luck of you got your Irish boxers on that night.
Yes, and I've done both. I've done they were there with other people and they were all driving in one vehicle and I can't, but then hooked up with them a week or two after or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of those, and I've had the Sneaky Pete on,
that's always a cool strategy when you convince her that you kind of play it in her mind that she wants to stay later than her friends do, and then you're the one driving home.
Uber. That's why God made Uber. Dude, in this day and age, there is no reason after drinking to get behind the wheel of your vehicle. Zero. Less than zero. Like, you are asking, like, you know what? I want to play Russian roulette.
Yeah, no, it's definitely nothing you want to do, but some people, it's just like, oh, I don't want to leave my car here overnight.
Sorry, cool. Enjoy your high insurance and your incarceration. Like, dude, there's nothing. And then that's part of the overall intellect that on the off chance I don't need to reproduce with you on accident tonight, and maybe we accidentally have a baby from this chick who's dressed like the chick from Frozen in the sluttiest way possible, and you make bad decisions like driving home and whatever. Now you've got my baby, and you've got a record.
You're a felon.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You tried to run from them and whatever.
And she probably has an eye patch too. That's this just comes with the territory.
Shenanigans. Yeah. So at least at that point, if you're dumb enough that you need to have your vehicle and you need to do whatever, and you don't understand the virtue of Uber, then I don't need to be putting my penis anywhere near them. That's one of my new leveling posts.
That's fair enough. That's a good quota.
Yeah, and filter. I think females should do the same thing. Like, hey, let's do 2 more shots, and let's go over John's house, and I'll drive. Ladies, that's not a dude. Like, he will make you pregnant. He will put a baby in you.
Oh yeah, easily.
He will put a baby in you,
and then he'll bang all of your friends.
He's never gonna make more than $11.50 in his career, like per hour. Even if he does and gets a good job, he's gonna screw it up because he smoked weed on the job or can't pass a drug test. Dude, run.
Yeah.
If you're like, that should be one of the new. So do you use Uber, or Lyft, right? And then you can.
So where do you find? Okay, so let me ask you this.
Oh, are you a newbie?
What?
An Uber newbie?
Well, I've only used one once, but okay. So let me ask you this: when you go out, do you pre-gauge if you're gonna need one or not? And
buzz driving is drunk driving, sir. We're out in force this weekend.
Okay, so I mean, I can have 2 beers and feel nothing. Do you have allegedly a specific quota that you reach to where you say, okay, I definitely need an Uber?
No, I pretty much go, why risk it? It costs $8 there and $8 back, and if I'm $16 differential is going to make it or break it, whether or not I'm going to go out tonight, I should stay home, either way.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you're looking at a $16 or a $25 differential, or if you've got multiple people, hey, meet over my house and we'll go. Or, hey, I'll Uber and come pick you up and then go here and there. And you chuck it in, and you got 3 people, and the ride costs $25. You know what I mean?
They got the ride share aspect where everyone can just pretty much chip in through the app. So there's no reason not to use it.
No, there really isn't. And don't get me wrong. There's times where I went, all right, I'm just going to run up there for a second. I'm going to grab a bite to eat and have 1 beer and go home. So I'll take my car, right?
Yeah.
Why wait the 6 minutes for the dude to come get me?
Sure.
Then I get there, and shenanigans happens, and then I have to Uber home, right? And then Uber back in the morning. So it's best to just get it all done,
Yeah.
And I've done it every which way.
Yeah.
That's how I lost my flip-flops. Because I was like, you know what? There was a girl I was talking to, and I did I was talking a big game like a week earlier, and she was like, well, on Friday, why don't you come up and, we'll hang out, whatever. You're all, you're just talking or whatever. And I was like, well, let's talk about it right now. Shit, we're right here. I've got stuff to do. I got this and that in the morning. And
she had no idea you had Akon on your side.
That's right. And me and Akon made it work. And I did. I drove up there, but I wasn't going to drive back through Canton in my vehicle after drinking.
Of course not, especially not through Canton.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, why risk it? Even if I was like, you know what? I'm going to go up and have 1 or 2 beers. If I have like 2 beers, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But my buddy manages and whatever. Oh, yeah, Jake's here. Let's do a shot. And I'm like, no. Oh, come on, blah, blah, blah. And I do a shot and then whatever. And then after a shot or 2, I'll do anything. Like I'll play Duck, Duck, Goose.
Yeah.
Well,
because once you, breaking the seal with pee, it's like the same thing with breaking the seal with some drinks. You might have the intention. You know how many times I felt like pure crap and I'm like, okay, I don't really feel like going out, but I'm just going to do it to, entertain and, socialize so I don't go insane. Go out feeling like crap. You get the beer in you, and you're like, oh, I feel a whole lot better. And you're like, I'm just going to keep on going. And then eventually the liquor is talking to you, and it's like, hey, how about some more of this? And then eventually you're just completely annihilated when you felt like pure crap. And it's so easy. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
So easy.
And the risk, I mean, I have a friend of mine who just had a DUI, and, between legal fees and getting a decent attorney and this and then all the hubbubaloo and crap and whatever, dude, like $17,000.
Yeah, no, easily. After the, because what is it? Like a baseline $10,000 for a DUI, and then you have to account in the legal fees, the lawyers.
Probation and this
probation
and whatever.
And paying for your Ps. It's a mess.
Yeah. So well,
dollar per dollar next to Uber drive. You're a hell of a save right there,
dude. And you're not risking anyone's
yeah.
harm, either yourself or somebody else. And even if you're right on that line and you're not really intoxicated, somebody T-bones you. You're still at fault for being buzzed. That you could have seen it earlier.
Oh, yeah.
You could have done whatever. So you're at fault.
Yeah, I knew someone that was buzzed and did like a illegal U-turn or went up like a driveway. Thought that there was like a gate closed, so they're like, "Oh crap!" They had to go over like the grass to the next driveway, and the cops saw that, and yeah, even though they were fine, they had it in their blood, and there you go.
Yeah,
anything can happen, and as soon as it does, you're not a human being. You're just a drunk person behind a wheel.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I need to be a spokesperson for Uber. Like, I tell everyone that comes in here, like, hey, what's going on? Especially on the weekends. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I'm going to meet so-and-so up at the bar. And I was like, cool. I was like, be safe. Take an Uber.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that should be the tagline. Like, be safe. Take an Uber. Right? And like, be safe. Like, I think bold letters on a black screen.
Safe.
Like, be safe. And then, take an Uber, blah, blah, blah.
Do.
Yeah. With some little tagline. I mean, it's a thing, but I'm kind of baffled at how many people don't know or don't understand. Now, see, I'm in a quandary tonight when before Graham left and Graham said, hey, what are you doing? Or, you going, I was like,
so how are you feeling now? You feel like you're going to go out or?
Probably not, because when she FaceTimed me, and probably not, right? I've also got my other buddy who's right down the way. She refuses to come down this way anymore, right? She stays up in like Livonia-ish. So Livonia and maybe across the border, Livonia into Garden City, right? Now, cool chick friend of mine, right? Dude, she's my homie, right? That's cool. And she's got some kind of, drama and whatever in life. Mm-hmm. So she requested the drink and cry, which generally we drink, we talk about whatever. I give her a bunch of good advice. She balls for a while, and then
she plays with your balls for a while.
That would be awesome if that was the case. But it seems no. This is platonic friend now. She's been in a relationship for like 3 or 4 years. So
okay.
Ball playing and whatever. But hey, stranger things have happened. But
yeah.
But no, come up here. And I'm like, dude, you need me to have this talk. I'm a fully, functioning, human being, right? I have no need for, beer and watch somebody cry.
Yeah.
You need to have beer and shots and whatever. Come this way. You come this way, I'll even pay for your Uber. I will, cool, get in your car, be safe, but wants to keep it close to, and who knows, it's a weird hang-up. Like, it's been a hang-up thing for a while. Like,
well, it's not even that far. Livonia to here to Wayne, that's not that much of a drive.
No, in an actual drive, if you were driving, but I'm definitely not going to drive and have drinks.
Yeah.
So that means I'm going to Uber. So that means I've got to get an Uber, do whatever, go up there, blah, blah, blah. And look, when it's a friend and there is no like, oh, let's go have this drink and whatever, and it means I'm going to crank away for an hour or so later, I would put myself through that. But when it's just baseline friend stuff.
Yeah. You got to meet me halfway.
You got to,
at least.
And if not, let's do the Red Rover. One time I'll go there, but now it's your turn to come here.
Just never wants to do that.
I've got a perfect bar right across the street from my house. I could walk. You know what I mean? Like, I could shuffle.
Yeah.
No. Why am I going to go all that way? And, if it was, and this is the weird thing with chick friends or, chick friends or somebody that you've got, somewhat, feeling or connection with. Mm-hmm. If it was my best friend and he was like, yo, man, come up to Livonia and whatever. And I'm like, dude, I live right next to bars. You come out here. I'm not going out there. Maybe the argument would get down depending on how good they could litigate the argument that, okay, I'll come this way, but next time you're coming this way.
Or just like the even courteous, I'll just buy your first drink since you're making the trip, right? That's my
yeah, but I'm a guy. I'll buy my own drinks. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but I mean, just
the only equalizer is a blowy. The only
you're not gonna blow your friends.
Yeah, so if there was a blowy equalizer in the mix, then I would, yes, of course, I would show up. I would go put on a clean shirt. Mm-hmm. I would like actually go, oh, let me look nice before I go out. But no, it's my friend who needs to boohoo and meh. And I'm like, great. So I'm going to go there and drink on a night I don't want to drink. After I threw up last night, have not eaten at all today. My voice sounds like, a ratchety, ball right now. I'm just, dude, everything about me is horrible.
Dog poop on your floors. And
well, yeah, I had a dude spent an hour or two cleaning there or whatever. So, yeah, it's just, dude, it's rough, man. Like, but don't get me wrong. I could drink right now.
Yeah, no, I could
because I've been
too.
stressed out because, number one, I threw up last night, and that just seems stupid if I wasn't drinking.
For me, it's like not even the act of drinking. It's like the act of going out. That's the kicker. I'd rather stay at home on like a night where I just have no energy and have some drinks than go out and make a whole night of it.
Yeah, but you got to think it's going to be 11 o'clock. It's whatever. I'm going to go drink. And dude, I'm telling you, if there is no the great identifier of everything, if there is no sex involved, or we're going to some place where there are boobs and weird perfume and sparkly glitter, then I'm not go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You take all those equations out. Now, on the off chance, if my friend wanted to drink and wanted to tell me the woes of whatever she's trying to do, putting her life back together, if you come to my neighborhood, I will meet you. I will not deny walking across the street and going to the bar or going down 3 blocks, going to the US 12, right? I will do either of those. And then if you were really froggy and was like, let's go to the strip club, I'm your Huckleberry. Mm-hmm. But I happen to live in an area where I have 4 of them within like a 3.5 mile radius, right? I live here for a reason.
It's your
I can go see Tony and Carl at the Avenue through the alley, right? I can walk across the street. I can Uber the 4 blocks down to the US 12. On a nice day, I'll walk, but Lord knows I've walked home from there, and that's been a joy. And if it's boobs that are on the menu, I've got 4 miles that way, 3.5 miles that way, and whatever. So I've got all of the the things that I like, except for a functional grocery store, the one that gave me listeria or whatever last night.
Did they shut down the Kroger that was right there?
The Hood Ghetto Kroger was my favorite Kroger. Dude, they had cuts of meat there that they've never had at another, and I loved it. It was my crock pot. Like, they had the best crock pot section in life. Beef tips, and they were perfectly cut cubed beef tips or rib tips that were done. I've gone to other places, they do it totally different, even other Krogers. They just
had the hookup there for you.
And dude, I would always see somebody from the neighborhood, like the Files brothers. I would see either Joe or Jeff. I'd see somebody I knew. I'd see Mulholland. I would see any number of people. I'd go grocery shopping and I would see, there's Greg Reynolds. Hey, G, what's going on? And we'd stop in the aisle and just chat. I don't get that. I don't think anyone goes to the other place that I went to that possibly poisoned me yesterday.
They don't want to die.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a interesting spot, There's a lot of cool stuff around, and there's also, I guess what's the next best thing for you going down to Merriman and Michigan Ave? Out the Kroger there?
If I do, I'd just go to Westland. I'd just go up to Wayne Road. Yeah. And then you got Norm's Meat Market. If I need to get steak or whatever, I go to Norm's if I want a good cut of steak. If not, yes, the Kroger on Central City and Ford Road.
Yeah, it's always been my go-to.
Or the Walmart, the Walmeasy right up here.
Yeah, that's not a bad spot either. I don't like getting groceries there, though, for some weird reason. I'd rather go to, like, Meijer if I had to skip out on Kroger.
Yeah, but I haven't been to a Meijer in forever.
No, I go there for, just anytime I need some booze and don't feel like going to the liquor store. Or just
I've never bought booze from a grocery store either. That's weird.
No? That's
why God made liquor stores. There's one every 6 feet.
Yeah, no, I think it's like, okay, so like the other night when
I need ham and I need, a fifth of Kentucky Deluxe. Like what?
Well, sometimes I'm just we're sitting there before we're about to go somewhere, and it's like, okay, liquor store is right down the street, but we need to kill a half an hour, so let's just drive to Meijer, walk around for a sec, Maybe it's just just our thing.
Well, I mean, I used to do it with my ex. We would go to Meijer. I'd come back with a goldfish. You know what I mean? They had the fish section in the back.
Yeah.
I think they had canaries for a while. I really pushed for a bird.
I've been to Meijer like probably 50 times in my life, and I think I've really only ventured out of the liquor section probably 4 or 5 times. So I don't know. It's just like a weird go-to place for me.
And you go to the one on Warren Road?
Yeah. Well, I like it too because they got the, build your own 6-pack of whatever craft beers I'm feeling. So sometimes I'm feeling a little, frisky. I want to try some new stuff. You don't have to commit to a whole 6er or something. You can kind of try everything.
Yeah.
My cousin is really big into craft beers, so
have you taken the cousin next door? I mean, I don't like them, but
we've gone there. We've gone there a few times.
They've got really good craft beer.
Yeah, there was this one. It was like this amber ale, and then I went there, and there was it was so crazy because I was just at Basement Burger Bar, and I saw it on the list of beers I could get, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a stout with this meal, and then after I'm gonna go and grab a 6-pack of it so I can have more of it. And then I found out afterwards that every liquor store in the area sold out of it the day they stocked it. It was that popular, and so I never got to try it.
Yeah,
bummer.
Yeah, I'm not big into the craft.
Well, I don't know. It's I like trying stuff. It's kind of cool because beer is the one thing, you get to microbrew it, and you can kind of you can have 1 or 2 of something, and you don't have to commit. You can just try her out. But I don't know. I like to stick with my Guinness and Jameson, or Guinness and tequila, or that's usually my go-to.
I mean, I like a Guinness. I just can't drink a lot of them. I drink the the hillbilly champagne, the Coors Light. I like it. I catch a lot of flack, but boy, oh boy, can I knock them down. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it just seems natural and cool for me. And I've developed a Coors Light only taste.
They're so smooth. That's the thing. Anything that has the smoothness, the fact that you can just drink it like water, that's always fun.
Yeah. And I can't get in trouble. I can sit and drink Coors Light all night and whatever, and be like, cool, throw in a shot or two,
yeah,
and I'm fine. I don't get off the rails.
Surprisingly, that's how I am with tequila.
Yeah,
a lot of people are like, "Hey, tequila will make you crazy. You do wild crap," and for me, it's the clearest drunk I can get, where I don't think irrationally. Everything it's like taking a nootropic.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know what.
How's the Adderall feeling on your brain today?
Good. You saw me. I was about to take a nap before this. I feel like I can at least. I don't have, because I'm just naturally tired. I don't have everything firing on all cylinders right now, but I can at least hold a conversation and not be wandering. That's at least half decent.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not, able to trailblaze right now with thoughts, but I can at least, do a ping pong game.
Yeah, no, that's solid. If I had ingested anything, I would have taken it today. But yeah, dude, I'm running on empty, dude. I'm scared to eat.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that violent psycho throw up was not kosher.
So you just fasted all day?
I just haven't had I mean, I had coffee in the morning. I still needed something to clear my head and get me up and moving around. But
do you feel like you did yesterday? You feel like you might go home and puke again?
No, I've got nothing inside. I'm empty. Dude.
Well, you can still dry heave. Nausea is a different symptom.
Nausea, dude. It was food based, okay. And I believe that if I take something and chuck it in there, it may get a little out of round.
It just depends,
I mean, I know if I went and ate horrible, which totally throwing my I'm not eating like crap anymore. I know if I went and had, there's something about McDonald's. There's something about McDonald's fountain Coke.
Oh yes,
dude. I could be hungover and ready to go into the hospital. You give me a fountain Coke, dude. I'm good. I can make it a few more days.
Yeah. Every time when I used to drive out to my cousin's house in South Lyon, there's right off 96 there. There's I forget what road it is. There's that McDonald's, and every day that we do that, just hit it, get a large fountain Coke. I would have the thing gone before I even got halfway home, and it made you feel good.
Yeah, no, it's magic.
I don't know what it is.
And heaven forbid you take you take a couple Advil and that. Yeah, you're ready to go.
I think, for me, nausea, I always like to do the old Michigan saltine cracker and Verner's trick.
I've never done the saltine cracker. I mean, Verner's, I mean, I get the.
Well, the saltine cracker is bland enough. You get some of the sodium in there too, and it doesn't really upset your stomach.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, it's a thing. I don't know. So I mean, as soon as we log off here, I'll do the my buddy Rashad hit me up. He was I may go to the 12. I may do whatever. So it's weird. Like this odd Tuesday has like the neighborhood folks like, hey, you're gonna go, and I really don't want to. I wouldn't mind socializing and and yes, and then of course having probably 6 beers and a shot or two of Jameson.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't bother me to do so, but I also know I probably should just go home.
Well, I mean, I would love to. In fact, I got invited out tonight and then invited out for tomorrow night. But it's like I do this, and then I wake up at 6 in the morning the next day and go to work, and we get done with this around 11. Well, we usually leave here around like 11. By the time I'm even in bed, it's already midnight. So I'm just getting a solid 6 hours. If I add anything else into that plus alcohol, man, I won't be able to function. I mean, I can do it once or twice, but I can't make it a habit. Otherwise, the next day I just feel even more, especially when I'm not feeling good right now. If I were to throw something else in the mix, that's just going to make it even worse. It's just going to be miserable.
You know what I've done over the last, it's been this probably like last 5-6 months.
What's
that if I'm not feeling good, I will go drink. And I think the Jameson and whatever, I either that or I just, I'm hungover the next day and I just don't feel great anyways, but I have a reason for it, unlike the nagging sinuses.
I think there's some science behind it as well. I think I know alcohol deteriorates your body and whatnot, but it also kind of, there's antibiotics in beer. You can boost your immune system a little bit more. It's kind of like it sends a shock to your body as well. So I don't know. I wouldn't recommend drinking if you're sick, but having like a beer or two can make some difference. There's some nights where I feel like crap, come home, have a beer, and the next day I feel, way better for some reason.
Yeah, I can't have one.
No?
It's like they're like Pringles to me. I will have six and a nipper of Jameson is perfect.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I mean, they got to be strong. They got to be strong beers. I don't drink like Bud Light or anything. I'll have like the Guinness Extra Stouts. I'll have a couple of those just to get, to the
Dude,
point.
I could show you how much I don't drink. I have Guinness, the one or two other beers that make a black and tan or whatever in my little cup holder, thing in the fridge where you also have eggs and condiments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting in there, chilling. And one day it'll be like, oh, I'm in the hot tub. I should probably grab a beer or whatever.
Yeah.
Or a couple people are over and that's right. I randomly have Guinness chilling in my thing. And dude, they have to be like 6-7 months old. Because I just never think to drink when I'm home.
Just some aged Guinness.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. But on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this up and let's see what my future holds and see, if Little Miss Muffet somehow found somebody else to drink and cry. Yeah. And if Rashad hasn't called and busted my chops about stopping by the 12. But I do have dogs and whatever, so that means I got to go home regardless.
Well, we're 2 days into the week. We got 3 more days of this, so I'm pretty sure we can push some stuff back a few more days and be happy.
Yeah, no, I have no want to do anything.
Yeah, me neither. I want to go to bed right now.
I didn't go out at all this weekend, so I was like super adult. I didn't go out this weekend. I didn't do really anything, so I'm pretty on point. That's good. I mean, odds of me actually pushing this weekend off is hard to do.
Yeah.
My PP will drag me out, like it'll be like walking the dog. Like you need to go try and find somebody to talk to. Like be nice. Remember all those nice words, try and use those on somebody. Yeah. So
we'll get her done.
Well, and it is the Halloween stuff and whatever. But I should see about doing that. Doing a remote from the US 12 with that either on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, get in contact with them tomorrow. Let's see if we can figure something out. We'll get a good roster going.
Yeah.
See who else. If you want to get Matt to show up for that one. I don't know if that's going to conflict with his schedule, but
yeah, I think his football stuff. But what I might have to do is do it because at night everything will be busy, and we're in here until 9 or 10, so the bar will be way too active.
Yeah.
At that point, but it would be cool to have people come up and get on the cam and right. You could have the people and whatever. And even if it's just the sound quality with the snowball mic would be a little weird. But every time I've thought of doing it, it's doing it like right at that 7-8 o'clock before it gets busy.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, because you don't want it to be too rowdy, because then it's just a mess on our hands doing this, trying to focus, and then it just becomes a whole new thing.
Yeah, well, and there's enough room to where you could get up by the stage and whatever, but if music's playing, so it can be somewhat cumbersome. Or we could do it outside on the patio.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the best thing to do right now is just to have the conversation with them, figure out if it would even be.
Well, see, time requirements, I'm in here until 9.
Yeah.
You know, so it could only be at like 3:30 or like 9:30, 10. But we'll have to see.
I mean, worst comes to worst, if you get it set up, have someone babysit it over there, and then as soon as you get done here, start it right over there. Streamline it a little bit, so that way we wouldn't get started till 10. You know, as soon as you get there, just press play, record, go to town. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we could set it up. We could set it up right out there. Yeah, it's not a totally crazy thing. And
no,
yeah, no, that'd be interesting. You know what? I'll talk to him and see. You know, and do a 10 o'clock show. Just close here, go over there. All it is laptop plug in. Yeah. The only bad thing is I don't know unless they would. Because I know their generalized Wi-Fi never works good, like the guest stuff. So I'd have to Grinch onto their actual Wi-Fi. I mean, I could tether my phone to do it and whatever, but
that's always spotty.
Yeah.
I mean, best case scenario or worst case scenario, we just record the thing. I mean, but if you do it live, you could. Do they have a Facebook page?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could have them make a whole thing about it.
Yeah,
share
cool. I mean, it's something I want to do, you know. And this is the stuff we're doing, you know, before January 1st, before, you know, pay me, you know.
Yeah, just well, this is pretty much just publicity, you know, for everyone at this point.
Yeah, for sure. No, it'll be neat. I think we can probably put something together. I think they trust me. I've only known them for like 50 years now, so I think they trust me enough to give me their, you know, the actual Wi-Fi password. Like I'm not just hanging out in the parking lot grinching free Wi-Fi. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, Dave and Kai don't get yours, so.
Well, dude, if I didn't have to kill this thing in the middle of the middle of doing stuff, I wouldn't. But yeah, dude, I mean, the stream health, doing it this way without doing anything else. But I open up 2 more pages and begin to scroll and do whatever. The stream health,
the bandwidth just completely gets, you know, cut from whatever you're doing to counter for the other stuff, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, shenanigans. But on that note, I'm gonna take my day after being sick and my raspy voice home, and hopefully home. If
you're gonna go home, you're gonna go.
Yeah,
home.
I'm gonna go home because, dude, she's never gonna come all the way down here.
No,
Rashad, love you, buddy, but not that big of a draw on a Tuesday when I already feel like crap, and I know, you know,
yeah.
So yeah, that'll probably conclude my night. I'll go home, talk to the dogs, debate whether or not I'm gonna eat something. I should eat.
Just eat something, man. I mean,
I don't want to throw. Like, I'm afraid of throwing up.
You know,
this could be the best diet ever. Like, I'm just afraid of throwing up. Like, I have throw up phobia, so I just don't eat for like a month and a half. I drop like 60 pounds.
Dude, fasting is pretty good for you.
Well, it is, and that's why the worst case scenario, I went, you know what? I have a day cleanse fast, right? And Lord knows and there's nothing in my body. I've drank, you know, a bunch of fluids, so I'm kind of cool. You know, That's a good day fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows? Well, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can actually go home and not eat and not get sick and all that jazz. And hopefully, I'll come in feeling like Spring Daisy tomorrow.
Oh, you will.
All right. So this is Jake and Nick signing off. Bachelor Pad Radio, JakePodcast.com, Bachelor Pad Radio, everything, YouTube, Facebook. All right. Thanks for whoever was hanging out with us.
Adios.
I hope you had a good time. Facebook Live looking at Nick.
Yeah, everyone was commenting on it saying, wow, this guy's really hot.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. They thought, yeah, that's why I put the camera pointed towards you. They've all seen me enough. All right, on that note, we're out. Peace.
Bye.